Right, so this thought is on the future. It's crazy as I'm recording this, right? It's 2022, 2023 is just around the corner. I remember when 2020 first hit, I was like, it's like, we're in the future already? It's like, why is everything so basic, right? So, 네, okay. So, 네, 우리 집에 간다. Okay. So, why is everything so basic? So, know that the future is upon us, and then the question is, what do we want from or out of the future? Now, like certain things which are quite certain, you know, time's gonna progress, you know, you got kids, your kids are gonna get older, whatever. And so I think most people want to pave a more beautiful future for themselves. I'm still very bullish on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc. I mean, you look at the World Cup, right? Crypto.com, the company, they're really smart. They're like investing so much into sports. People still gonna be into sports. They're still gonna be into sports. 네. Okay. 우리 바스 보자. And 네. People still gonna be into sports. People still gonna be into X, Y, and Z. And so the future is actually pretty predictable. 네, 우리 집에 가요. 네, 조금 참아주세요. 감사합니다. 네, 집에 간다. 네. So the future is pretty obvious in terms of what's going to happen. The better question yet is, what can you start doing right now or today to pave a better future for yourself, right? So some future trends, right? It looks like, I mean, 네, 가자. Like, what are some big trends that I see? A, physiological depression. B, you know, people, more and more people getting fatter and fatter and more sick and handicapped. You know, the ultra luxury market is gonna keep going more ultra luxury. Like, look at the new off-roading Lambo, right? People still gonna want the Lambo. Still gonna want the Tesla. Tesla is gonna keep getting better. If I were to just own a traditional stock, it would probably just be Tesla. I mean, 네, 우리 집에 가요. 네, 집에 간다. 네. Just think to yourself, like 30 years from now, are you gonna see more Teslas on the road or less? Probably more, right? And is the supercharger network gonna get better or worse? Gonna get better. And is Elon Musk gonna get more interesting in the next 20, 30 years? Yes. So maybe a practical way you could think about it too is, you just want to become more interesting in the long term. Even our best friend Kanye West, right? Is still going to be relevant 20, 30 years from now. Yes. 네, 우리 집에 가요. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, whatever. So more and more people are going to consume more media or entertainment. Yes. And yeah, so I think it's obvious to look at these trends, right? And things that are a good idea to work on, like diet, nutrition, fitness, motivation, inspiration, arts, creativity, photography, travel, etc. I'm like, is the future people going to be more entrepreneurial? I think people like to watch entrepreneurship stuff like Shark Tank as entertainment, but I don't think people really want to be entrepreneurs. 네, 우리 집에 가요. 감사합니다. I don't think people really do actually want to become entrepreneurs because it's not a traditional safe path that most people enjoy doing. And, you know, unfortunately, most people kind of not out of their own fault. I think most people are quite cowardly. It's not an individual fault, it's more of a societal thing. Like, modern day society breeds us to become a bunch of cowards. Like, even in America, Korea, etc. what I do love about America and the American dream is America is the country where 99.9% of people are uninteresting, and the top 0.1% of people are extremely interesting. Like, even if you don't think about the world's richest people, because I think that's kind of a boring measure, the world's most interesting people are all American, right? Yeah, we got job. Hollywood, it's all Americans, right? Elon Musk is he came to the States for a reason, right? American. Kanye is American, etc. It's funny, how come people never think that Kanye West is American? They're just like, and all of the famous personalities, rappers, are all American, right? So Jay-Z is American, Eminem is American, we're all American, right? So the question then is, I think it's a good idea to create to me, America is like my ideal society. America is my ideal society in which America is my ideal country in where if you want to be insanely mega successful, America is the only place to do it in the world. That could actually be by yourself. It looks like other countries, like let's say China or etc., Asian countries, the only way to get mega rich is doing under the deal tables with some sort of government entity. But you cannot really be really self-employed or self-rich unless you're in America. This is my thought, right? And I like the idea that when you share ideas and stuff, it's for the elite. It's for the top 0.01 percenters. Like, and I don't even think this is a rich person thing. Like, I would actually have more respect for the guy who's self-employed making $40,000 a year and very interesting than the guy who's making, I don't know, $10 million a year as some boring ass CEO who's, doing not nice things in the world. Typically the people who I've met who are very rich, if they were self-made, are very interesting. But if people who have inherited wealth or just work at a company tend to be very boring and uninteresting. Like, if you think about it, like even being a CEO, right? Like, you're just essentially a talking head and you're kind of more of an actor. The real interesting people are the founders, the people who've created the thing. This is where I still have more respect for Mark Zuckerberg than other tech CEOs, because at least Mark was the OG founder and is still CEO, which means he actually cares for the company. Whereas all these other people who have sold their companies, like, I actually do think that Kevin Systrom, Instagram co-founders, WhatsApp founders, whatever, who all sold their companies, Oculus sold to Facebook. Should be kind of like low-key. Like, I mean, they didn't know it. I mean, it's like someone offer you $1 billion, you're probably gonna take it, right? Like, but like, shows that their real soul is not in the game. Like, my thought is, if you really have your soul in the game, you would never sell your company or step down. Like, even Jeff Bezos, now that he's just executive chairman, he's not CEO no more. I think Amazon was actually a stepping stone for Jeff for greater things like Blue Origin or his other entrepreneurial ventures. Steve Jobs was a great example where his passion was Apple because he was the founder and CEO, got kicked out and then came back. And Elon with SpaceX, Tesla, whatever. So only trust CEOs, I guess, who are the founders, and they don't do it for a money-making thing. They do it because it's their soul and passion, right? I'm just like trying to think, it's like, what are the other companies that I don't even know. 네, 우리 집에 가요. 버스 여기 있어요. 네. Yeah, and so in terms of the future, right? Like, I like the idea of you creating your own solo media empire where it's all about you. 네, bus. You're creating your own solo media empire, and all you need to do to change the world is an iPad and a GoPro, and maybe a Ricoh GR3X. And you essentially build up your own name, your own platform. The number one tip I have is the brand is you. Use the brand, use the platform, your first and last name. 네. 네, 우리 집에 가요. 참으서 감사합니다. 네, 집에 간다. 네. 하늘이 아빠 캠era 하고 놀고 싶어? 근데 아빠 캠era 여기 있어요. 감사합니다. 싫어? 알았어. 미안해. 오케이, 조금 더 참아주세요. The reason why I'm all for solo entrepreneurship, sole proprietorship, where you're literally the only person who has to do everything, is because I think the notion of having a manager or having employees is kind of more of like you want to signal that you're successful by having employees or a manager or whatever. But truth be told, maybe the best life in existence is where you don't have any employees or any people to manage and you just do everything yourself, right? Which means you do all the marketing, all the branding, all the publishing, creating and stuff like that. And it becomes an interesting thing because you only do that which you really, really care for. And it's the ultimate empowering maximal freedom because you don't have to hire no contractors to do nothing which is outside your domain expertise. So, for a long time, I wish I learned how to program, stuff like that. Now I'm just like, nah, F it, I'm just, like my Archimedes lever is blogging, vlogging, sharing turbo thoughts, etc. I'm all about using simple tools, and sometimes like I'm starting to realize like to learn to code for the sake of coding is kind of unnecessary. Like even with HTML and the web and design and stuff, I only know the basic bare minimum to make things look the way I want them to look like. But beyond that, actually to know the hard coding stuff is actually not that interesting to me. And actually, in the fact, I think the future, it might be more about soft skills than hard skills. Like hard skills, knowing how to like be a plumber, right? Change a pipe or something, right? Yeah, what did you out? Soft skills tend to be generally more framework concept ideas like sociology. I think actually more people should study sociology because it's the best way to challenge social norms which we are all enslaved by, and to learn how to think more independently. If one wants to become a critical thinker, sociology is actually pretty good. I'm like a little bit distrustful of studying philosophy because it's too focused on logic, which people assume is the apex value, but actually it's not. Logic via Socrates was kind of a concept, this is according to Nietzsche, a concept invented by the rabble to try to solidify their thing, right? So even to win an argument by rationality and logic, essentially it's only a thing that is only a thing that people with no power do, right? Like, for example, if you're the king or the emperor, right? You don't need to use logic or rationale to say, I want to do X, Y, Z. No, use the king, you're in the power, you have a military, you could do what you want because you deem it so, right? Whereas other people who, say, oh, I have to do this because of economic reasons or social reasons, whatever, right? It's because they have no power. Even our best friend Jesus, right? He had no army, but what he had was his concepts, his thoughts, his sayings, and a devoted following, right? 네, 우리 집에 거의 다 왔어요. 우리 여기 또또 있어요. So just know that like you don't, with your own opinion and stuff like that, you don't need to explain yourself or have rational or logic. You can just be like, oh, it's because I like it or I don't like it. It's just that simple, right? It's like, oh, not like or it's just my thoughts. This is why I believe in, right? Like people's like, you have to explain. So everyone's trying to win arguments. Arguments are for losers. What's more important is whether you have the courage or the guts to just push it forward. And opinions, what is an opinion? Opinion means I think. So to have an opinion about something just means like, it's just, what do you think? Like, what do you opine on, right? And opinions don't need to be based on fact. Because a lot of opinions are just philosophical or aesthetic, right? So yeah, just know that you need no external authority but yourself, and just strive to be honest, real, and you know, 100% with it.